And we're live. Okay. Hello world. A bit of a later stream. Specifically a day and 2 hours late. Um, yeah, this is day 197 of studying compilers every day until I land a compiler role. We are rapidly approaching, we are rapidly approaching 200 days, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm really tired, and it's very unfortunate because today we are gonna start our giant rewrite. What's good, Lane? Good to see you. Last time we fought with CMake for 1.5 hours. I don't want to do that again, so we won't do that again. We probably won't touch CMake for a while, unless something terrible happens. But there is a chance, so yeah, that might happen. But hoping it doesn't. For now, the big thing is we're doing our big rewrite. I have a couple of general things I wanted to focus on during this rewrite down here. The big thing is I want to cut out HIR. It does not make sense. I had a reason for it existing, and then it evolved in a way that did not make any sense whatsoever. So we're just gonna take the AST. We're probably gonna I'm probably just gonna macro expand it, to be honest. It's a lot less work that way. So yeah, we're just gonna expand the AST straight into middle encode. There might be a type checking stage, and there might be a little bit of I guess unwinding or denesting compound expressions, but yeah, hopefully it's gonna be a little bit more manageable. We might have a type checker at some point, but we can just do that directly on the AST instead of making a silly little IR in the middle. Yeah, so that's kind of the big thing. What's good, Azurth? Good to see you. Just finished my gardening? Hell yeah. There's also some other small stylistic things. I'm thinking about messing around with the way I do visitor, but we'll have to see. Because I looked at the way LLVM does visitors, and it just feels so much nicer. So, this is probably something that is subject to change potentially. Something else I want to do is pass less unique pointer refs around, because we do that. I should just pass around the pointer. Yeah, or the internal pointer, because it's not we're not nuking a whole lot of stuff. Aside from that, the header order I think I should invert. So if we look in, let's see, any semblance of an example file. So we have our project specific stuff underneath our standard library imports. I've read that it should be the other way, but it's all stylistic. I think this is very much a Python way to do it, but at least I was poking around the LLVM style guide, because well, I'm doing LLVM stuff now, just on the side for research, and apparently I'm doing it backwards. I might look into this a little bit more before we get started, but that's something to think about. And then in the C++ files, this level of indent is getting really annoying, so we're just gonna do a using, because it's a C++ file. It should be fine. Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it all. Having now worked on a custom backend for a bit, how familiar or accustomed to a specific assembly instruction set should one be? I think it's something that you can definitely start from a very small subset and then build up. You don't have to be completely familiar. The fact that I don't know half of what exists in x86 is probably a good example of that. But you can as long as you write it to be extensible, I think it's no big deal. Yeah, so that's kind of the big pile. I think part of the reason why I just decided to cancel stream yesterday instead of actually doing stuff was because this is kind of a very large project, and it is a little bit scary to just cut out an entire IR. So if we look at the visitors here, what are we doing here? There's so much slush. We're gonna basically need to merge that with this giant visitor already, which also scares me a lot. Yeah. This also makes me think that I need to make my visitors less stateful. Yeah. So we'll see what we can do with it. But yeah, Rust rewrite that could be in the books, but not for the foreseeable future. For better or for worse. Okay, so how do we even begin? Oh man, let's do the small formatting things for now. I think that's probably the easiest place to start. Yeah. How do we even tackle this? I guess we should probably start with the preprocessor. Here this like namespace thing makes sense. What's up? Okay, I think this header is probably fine. This, we should invert this order, or we should look it up real quick. C++ header order. Local to global, yeah. It seems like everyone likes this order. But I guess we should... I think this always comes first, right? Wait. Yeah, this is the correct order. This is the correct order already. So local to global. So that's both of the preprocessor files, I think. We should namespace front end this. There we go. Much better. What was wrong here? Oh man. Oh wait, we make a bit of a mess with this actually, now that I think about it. But it's fine. We'll work through that. What else is broken? Okay, let's go back to utils first. Yeah, let's not do that. Can we do that? And then using namespace pegtool? That still makes a mess. Well, that's not great. Huh. Okay, let's go backwards a step. Let's just start with the utils pile then. Can we like define a namespace and then like use it later? Yeah, we can just do that, right? Okay, I guess we can't. Yeah, maybe this is probably just like the less insane way to do it anyway, so we should probably just do that. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just get everything else in this little pile done. Yeah, this is inevitable. Yeah, okay, so this is like the first instance of getters that we should do something about. Yeah, so like what are we doing here? Why do we need the entire unique pointer? So we should just make this a type star. Right, so we should do that. But clone, on the other hand, we're literally cloning, so we should probably like actually return a unique pointer because we're making a new unique pointer there. Does that, hopefully that like kind of makes some sense. The constructor should probably take the unique pointer as well because we make it externally. So this thing necessarily will own it afterwards. Yeah, so that, hopefully that like is sort of sensible. Yeah, so we can do this now. This is fine, this is fine. Type star. Wait. Yeah, okay. So we want base.get. What's good, Niraj? Good to see you. It's been a second. Yeah, the description is a little bit lobotomized, because I'm a little bit lobotomized right now. But yeah, it's it's going great. It's going great right now. Yeah, this all looks about right now. We should invert that order. Yeah, okay. That looks good. Let's clean this up now. Oh man, I'm not looking forward to a lot of this cleanup. I think most of this is fine though. We just need to invert this order. And then using namespace front end. I'm not sure why I use this whole symbol table thing anyway. This is like a little bit insane anyway. Because I just use it to like deduplicate identifiers. Which makes a lot more headache than it really needs to. I really should just get rid of this, but there is like a valid reason for this existing, so I think it's fair. Yeah, we can keep it like this for now. What else? What else do we want to do? So the header is fine as well. We need a line break there. Pectoral helpers. Oh man, I think this feels wrong. This feels wrong to do. Yeah, so we want like that. Yeah, we can do that actually. Yeah, so we can do that, and that file we can consider good for now. Oh man. Okay, this gets messy. This definitely gets messy. The enums are like inevitable. I don't really like this. I feel like this should this be a function or should this be an unordered map? I guess what is the good way to go about this? Let's ask Claude. Let's ask Claude for design advice. When has this ever gone poorly? When making a mapping from, let's say like string to enum in C++, is it better to use an unordered static ordered map or use constant static unordered map or use a function? Let's see what it thinks. Sorted array plus lower bound. What are we doing? What the hell are we doing? Oh my god, no, we are not lower bound string comparing. What is this thing? What the are we? Huh. I mean, we make it like a local thing, right? So like it's not that bad. I don't know. It definitely doesn't feel right making it like a map. So we should probably make it a function of some sort. Enum class. Claude needs more context. I think it's probably fine. C++. Can enum classes have like functions? I don't think they can, right? I guess they can't. Yeah. I want to see you do some LeetCode live. I used to actually. It was a lot of just like a lot of lobotomy. So if you want to see that, like go back to like episodes like 40, for instance. The opaque, you know, what are we doing? Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Eee. This is ugly. Okay, this is just like awful. What the hell? What the hell? What are we doing? This is so ugly. I like really want to try this though. I think it would be really funny to use this. How do we feel about this? Thoughts about using Rust for compilers is great. I think it does largely what you want. It would let you do stuff like this, for instance. But also like memory guarantees are good. I think its pattern matching is much better than what C++ has. Like, I don't think it's possible to really complain about it. Dear Lord, that's awful. Okay, we're not doing this. We are not doing that. That looks terrifying. Yeah, so let's... Oh man. You look really different from day 9? Yeah. I mean, I'm very much a different person. A lot has happened in the past half year. So that's kind of how it goes. Okay, let's see. Let's do a function binary op from str, I guess? Or I don't know. What do we even want to call this? Well, we'll just take the same name. We'll just do that. And then we'll move this over in a second. And then we can yoink toString. I don't even know if we use it both ways. We definitely do it both ways, I think. What's good, Panda? My sleep schedule is still completely fried, but I made an effort to make it better yesterday. And I got 8 hours, so we're already doing infinitely better. Goals this stream, just like start the big rewrite process. I don't have any like lofty ambitions per se, but the big thing is just like getting started with the rewrite, because there's just so much like friction in terms of like trying to get it started, because it's, well, such a monumental rewrite to do. I'm basically like gutting half of the front end just to make it less awful. This needs to go up here. Okay, and then we can yoink that. Unary op. Yeah, there we go. Hair hasn't been redyed? No, it's been redyed plenty of times. Usually I try to get it redyed once every like 1.5 to 2 months. So I'm due for a redye pretty soon, actually. I think next weekend or the weekend after, probably. How do you set up your website? It uses GitHub Pages, but it has a what's it called? Domain. For more details, I would check like my GitHub page. I think I linked like the really hacky way that I got around having multiple pages with like hash routing. Maybe I should just make it one page in the future. That might be less awful. Okay, this is not fun. Let's yank all of that real quick. Let's put this here for a second. Okay, so now we can reorder this. I don't remember what we needed utility for. Unreachable. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's probably fine. Yeah, this is fine. This is probably fine. Okay, we can also get rid of unordered map there. So we can rewrite this to be less awful. Okay, so here we can do this instead. So we can de-indent everything again. Okay, so first is string to binary op. Alright, maybe we should just call it like from string. No, because then we overload. It's really awkward. We can't do it that way. So I want to do this. Oh man. So let's just yank this actually. Grad student? Yeah, I mean, I'm technically like in between like senior and like grad student, because I'm in the what's it called? The like combined BSMS program. So I technically finished my BS last quarter, but this is still like my 4th year. So like I'm a senior in that sense. It's like it's kind of funky. Okay, we need to let's switch block this. Oh right, we can't switch because it's this. Okay. Okay, let's give this back to Claude. How would I port this to a function? Wait, what the? Actually, that makes a lot of sense. I guess we could do it that way. That seems really ugly though. I don't really like that. Is this better than using a big if else? That's a stupid question. Obviously this is better than a big if else tree. Yeah, we need to keep it like that. So we should do it that way. We should keep the Clang format guards on here as well. Unless we can maybe move them inwards like this? Is this a thing? That is a thing. That's pretty cool. So how do we... Static const std unordered map. Okay, sure. Yeah, so we can do that. String view. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, we should just use string view, huh? Oh yeah, the other thing I was gonna do. I forgot to put this in here. Stick const on everything. Yeah. So let's see if we can do any of that. Can we do any of that here? We can do that. What else can we const? Do we need to const that? I'm too lazy to do this. We'll actually do that some other time, but it would be something to think about at least. Yeah, okay. Anyways, back to shuffling deck chairs. Yeah, so So we want what? From string at find. How did this vomit it out? I see. So we find stir. Then what invalid argument? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's probably smart to do this instead of just like unreachabling it. Yeah, we should do it like this. It should be like that. We should, does this work? Arrow, whoops. Okay, cool. Okay. So there's that now. Two-string is fine. Yeah, this is always fine. Well, actually, we could just at this, right? So what if we just do like from string at, and this will auto error for us. Right? Yeah, okay. That's a really funny solution, but I guess it works. Someone's probably gonna like gut me for that one, but whatever. Let's just yoink that again. Let's throw this here. Since this is how we're organizing it now. Let's yank that. Let's put it here. There we go. Are these the same? Wait. Let's ask Claude another question, because I don't even know how I'd Google this. If I put, actually, let's write this first, and then we can figure out if we need to rename anything. Aye. Let's make this pretty. Oh, whoops. Yeah, so then we can just do that, and we're fine. And then the rest of this is all good. There we go. Is there a collision with the two unordered maps? I don't care that I typoed it. Okay, so there is like a local static. That's what I needed to ask. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. The more you know. Static is a hard keyword to get right. Okay. Next up, let's get this fixed. Oh man. What the hell am I doing here? Like, what actually am I doing? This is so dumb. Oh, but they have different two strings, so that's fine. We can definitely move the value stuff into like here. Actually, doesn't matter. I don't think it really matters. I don't like, alright, because then I have to make an atom constructor, and that sounds really annoying. I guess we could make it protected, right? Does anyone even use the protected keyword? Like, Like, genuinely do people use this? It seems like it makes more of a mess. Okay, let's reorder that. Okay, this is all fine. We don't need that here, though. We definitely don't need that there. There we go. What else do we wanna change here? I wanna start abbreviating some things that are like annoying. Like, this is all fine and all. Like, if it's like a 2-word thing, and like, some things I want to like start shortening out. So like symbol table, like we can just call it ST, for instance. Yeah, okay. And the way we implement this, I feel like, I would like to const something. Yeah, but it's like, it's whatever. I'm sure I will come around on consting things at some point, but I'm very lazy right now. Yeah, okay. So that seems a little bit more sensible. What else do we want to do? I think the rest of this is fine at a glance. Okay, so we can say utils is rewritten, and now we can figure this hellhole out. Oh man. Rewrite utils under new, or clean up utils. Oh boy, this is gonna suck. This is really gonna suck. Can we just like, can we do that? Oh, too many errors, sure. Let's do it like this. Can I just, why don't I just do that? And then, and what issues are there here? Oh, yeah, we actually can't do that. We like literally cannot do that. Alright, so we like actually cannot. That's fine. I forgot to global. This was so dumb. Huh. Yeah, okay. Identifier really ruins my life here. I don't really know what the stylistically correct way to do that is, so we'll just do that. What is the best way to do this? Do that. That seems to fix most of it. I think that's the least awful way to do it. And then we need to fix like 2 things. Yes, we need to do that now. That's like whatever. Oh man. This file sucks. This file truly sucks. This is like hell. Yeah, C++ is really annoying. Yeah, so this is fine. Yeah, we can do that. I think this is, I'm like happy with the rest of this. Okay, and now we go back to hell because we need to look at the parser. Wait, let me make sure I did all these correctly. That's fine. Maybe I should like front end this, huh? Yeah, so we can compartmentalize this thing. Okay, cool. And then clean up reprocess. Okay. Okay. 2 down. We got 2 more to go pretty much. I also want to move AST to, this is just going to be like lower AST. Or like we're going to call it like 2 MIR or something like that. Yeah, because this name is stupid. This name is stupid. Okay, let's start looking here again. Or let's start looking at the parser again. This scares me a lot. Yeah, so we're gonna need to add the pectoral thing at the top of all of these now, which is like fine. Or at least not the header, right? Maybe we should put this in. Maybe we should put this in utils, actually. Right? Yeah, so that's a decal. And here we can just do this, right? We can do that again, which is nice. Yeah, okay. I'm much happier with that. And then in here, that's fine. And then all this is also fine. Okay, perfect. Move pectoral decal to utils. Okay. So now we can continue going through super hell, I guess. Yeah, let's start with core, because, well, it's the core. Oh man, okay. This is like really starting to weigh down on me, though, the way I've constructed things. Yeah, I really don't like this global. Still going? Yep. I mean, I might have skipped yesterday, but we don't talk about that one. It's only consistent until I decide I need a break, and then I like take a day off. This is all fine. Yeah, okay, nice. So core is fine. This is also a really funny file. Yeah, but like, I guess there's like it's consistent with like an asterisk at least. Do you use preset for any of them or it's your own? It's my own config. It's linked in my, it should be pinned on my GitHub profile on my .files. My GitHub's in the description. Although actually, let me check if I have a Nightbot command for this. I feel like I should have it. Commands. Yeah, I do actually. Let's go. Alright, Nightbot, please don't fail me. Please, please, please don't fail me. There we go. Okay. Is this the first compiler you worked on? No, but this is the first one that I've built from scratch, pretty much at least. I did, or I guess like second-ish, depending on what you count. My first, like, technically was, it was a class project for our compilers class, where it was pretty much just a compiler front end and back end, with some framework. Yeah, there was a lot of like testing framework that was given to us. So this time I'm just like starting from scratch completely. I'm still using a parser generator because I don't like writing parsers, but yeah. Bottom line, this is a lot more by hand than before. Okay, next is Expr. Why is this yelling at me? What the hell? What's good, Josh? Joshua? Josh? I don't know what you go by, but what's up? Let's look at, where do we even begin here? Oh, this is a header. We can't do this. God damn it. Yeah, so we can't do it in here, but we can do it in here. That's wonderful. So this file actually just doesn't change, which is really funny. Let's look at Expr now. This also looks like it's been fine. How do you study compilers? By building, because it is a lot easier to learn by doing when it's something very, very systemsy, generally speaking. Not sure if that answers your question, but hopefully that helps. Let's rename this to token kind, because I think that is more paradigmatic. Yeah, I mean, parsing isn't like technically difficult. It's just like very annoying, at least, which is why I'm not a fan. What is even that? You'll have to be more specific with what you're referring to there. If you're talking about like what a compiler is, it's a program that translates between programming languages. If you're talking about the slush on my screen, on the other hand, that will be marginally different. What the hell am I doing? Yeah, like parsing isn't like very like technically difficult. There's just like a lot going on, but like eventually, like the thing is like it's just not really anything interesting, right? Like you read the damn token, you figure out what the token is, and like you do something with it. You might make a mess while doing it, but like it is just like the same thing. You just write a bunch of parse trees. Like it just sucks. It just really sucks. There's no way around it. But like it's not like quote unquote difficult, at least. It's just very annoying to go about. Okay, let's look at this real quick. We just need to make one small change here, I believe. What the hell? What do you mean ambiguous? It's not ambiguous. It shouldn't be. Do I even need to like extern these actually, if these are just local? Oh yeah, because we push onto it. Yeah, we need to do that. Yeah, can I just like... Do I need to like do this for my globals? Is that... Yeah, okay, that's really ugly. That really sucks. That's so stupid. Why do companies need compiler programmers? New compiler backends for like new hardware, or like a company that invests into like compiler optimizations, most notably Quant. Those are like the big two I can think of, and then just like big tech designing new languages. That's like kind of the big use cases, at least. Yeah, nobody uses transpiler anymore, for better or for worse. It's kind of like a distinction without a difference. What was I gonna look up? Okay, let's just like... Yeah, of course. Alright, let's throw this into Claude again, because we love Claude. Can we avoid the little namespace wrapper in the C++ file? Wait, can I like forward declare these here? Wait, what? Huh. Right, so if I nuke that causes issues though. What are we saying? No, this is not helpful. No, what? Oh. Let's give it a screenshot. Let's give it a damn screenshot. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Whoops. Okay, now we know. Is there a way to move the template bodies from the header? I've tried Claude Code on the CLI. I should, but I'm just too lazy to set it up right now. Okay, so we do just need to like do this like that. Wow, okay, that's annoying. How many R's in strawberry? Let's ask it. Ah, it knows. It got. It didn't get got, rather. It has become smart. Shame. Okay, anyways. enough shenanigans. Let's go JMac. The other big reason that I'm not installing like CLI Claude Code is because I feel like it's gonna get too addictive. I feel like I'm gonna use it too much if that happens. Yeah, this is easily the messiest part of my program. It is what it is. I hate this. Okay. So after expert, I think instruction, we cleaned up type already, right? No, we did not. The header, I think, is fine though. This we want to clean up. Happy 5K, thank you. So it's good to see you. Oh man, this rewrite is not fun. There's so much stuff to look at. Not a lot of fun to be had. Yeah, it's very easy to become Claude dependent. So I'm trying to avoid it as much as I can. Although like for our kernel dev class, we're like literally required to use an LLM. So yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it lots. Are you using LLVM? I'm not. I'm kind of trying to like rewrite most of it. Or not most of it, at least like a usable chunk of it. Just to like better understand why it does things the way it does. There are a lot of things that I've already done wrong. And I need to deal with the consequences of my bad design decisions. So, oh well. Let's see. What else do we look at? Let's look at instruction now, I think. Unless I've cleaned this up. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Okay. Do we need this? I was gonna use that for something. I forget what it was though. Let's... Do I even need the string thing? No. Okay, that's nice. We'll clean that up in a second. We were doing instruction, right? So using that... Aye. Yeah, okay. And then this thing is front end. Currently leaning towards medicine, but want to try tech. I see. I think either web dev or data science-y stuff might be the best fit. Learning to program broadly is probably a better prerequisite, or I guess like a prerequisite to both. So I think like probably learning either Python or JavaScript is probably fine. Eventually, like, you kind of figure out that all languages are kind of the same. They just, like, express the same programs in different ways. So, it doesn't really matter which you pick. Just, like, stick with it for a bit. If, like, making websites is more interesting to you, then obviously lean towards web dev. But if you think, like writing scripts to, like, work on data is more interesting, then I think, like, Python might be the direction you want to go. That also like gets you more into like AI land, as AI/machine learning land, as like Isrith and JMac are saying. So yeah, I think hopefully that's like enough to make a decision, but feel free to ask more questions. Okay. What do we need here? This is kind of fine, I feel like. Yeah, this is kind of just ugly anyway. What would you recommend to someone that wants to learn more about CS fundamentals? Oh man. There's a lot in that pile. You're not gonna like this answer, but I think college is unironically the best place to do that. I think it's at least from a self-learning perspective, if you're trying to learn like a lot of different things, it's really hard to like stay structured if you're just like going through a couple textbooks, and also just like being exposed to like various different types of assignments, various different homework, various different like labs. All of that will also help you, I guess, figure out figure out how to reason about fundamentals broadly. Yeah, like you can definitely like self-study it. You'll need to like find the right books for it and like the right internet resources, but if you want like a short encapsulated answer, I think like some sort of like college program makes the most sense for that, because that is like the one thing that like CS in college does well, I think. Yeah, again, like maybe I'm like insane for that answer, but that's my take on it. Let's see. What was I gonna? Actually, we don't need to separate that out like that. Yeah, I did it like here as well, right? For some reason. Yeah, like we don't need that. We don't need that space. Yeah. Okay. So none of this also needs to change, which is really funny. This is fine. Let's go to function. This is the... okay. This is a very silly file. And then the rest of this I think is fine for the most part. Everything else just goes to like data structure design, which I've either done very well or done very poorly. So yeah, so let's go to parser real quick, because this is the last thing we need to clean up. Yes, that's good. Why doesn't this take parser? Oh, wait. That's very odd. That should take parser. Why doesn't this use this? Wait, what? Wait. Wait, what? Am I going insane? Let's put this there. What the hell? Lane, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But like, I think that caveat is exactly why I recommend a formal program. I also think like it opens the door to interacting with a lot more people that also like study this stuff as like their primary interest, right? So yeah, like I think self-studying like such an expanse of content is pretty close to like self-teaching themselves brain surgery in a sense. So yeah, do what you will with it, but that's my opinion. Does this all look fine? This all seems fine at a glance. Yes, like actually meeting like professors and like talking with them about like the research that they do. I think there is like so much, at least like in the past month or two, I've learned just like so much just from like talking with more research people. Like they do so many cool things, and it's like damn, I could be doing that too, but like I literally just did not know what existed. So like just having like people that are passionate about what they're doing, like talking about the stuff they're working on, I think really has like, it really has a positive influence. And it also like, it gives you, I guess, perspective on how the fundamentals get applied as well. With the recent wave of layoffs and AI replacing devs narrative, what's your take on the future of entry-level roles? I still think it's pretty viable. I think entry-level roles will shift from writing code to like reviewing or like designing code. So it's kind of like we're like axing like the lower rung of the ladder, but everything's like being shifted down as well. So yeah, it's kind of like it is a very interesting situation, at least. Okay, let's see what breaks. I'm scared. Oh my. What? Okay, yeah, we changed that, so that's fine. Okay. That doesn't really help us right now, though, which is really annoying. Oh yeah, and then like -J32 does make a mess out of this build, I guess. So that's fine. Let's just fix all of the front end first, and then we can go from there. So let's see, the parser is good, the preprocessor is good. Let's fix up AST. So we want to redesign a lot of this stuff. Want a summer internship in Germany from talking to a professor? Yeah, exactly. Like, there's just like so much to be gained from like talking with faculty. Okay, let's reorder that. Okay. Yeah, so we need to forward declare visitor. That makes sense. Most of this is fine, I think. This one we need to pass the unique pointer in. Oh man, this sucks. Is there a like better way to get an iterator for this? Yeah, cause like, see, this is like one of the instances which like really annoys me. It's like, how do we go about managing this properly? Let's ask Claude. How do I write an iterator for this? See, like this is like a lot of work. This is very annoying. What's the hard part about building a compiler? There's a lot of like optimization stuff that happens in the middle, and all of that is just like really interesting to me. So that's like, there's a lot of like code analyses and like a lot of like correctness guarantees that need to be maintained. Aside from that, compilers are like really large code bases, so there's a lot of like software engineering that goes into it as well. What's up, Kimmy? Welcome. I'm making a compiler from C to x86-64 right now. It is it is not going well. I am doing a lot of rewriting. So that is the hell I'm living in. This is fine, this is fine. Might have better odds getting on leak code. Probably, yeah. But I also want to, like, you know, not get fired in a week. So, yeah, that is another prerequisite. Okay, let's see, what else do we need to change? Yeah, I wish there was a better way to deal with this thing. Yeah, we will be like inserting things, huh? Yeah, how do we want to do this? Grr. This really sucks. This really freaking sucks. How's your Wells Fargo internship? It was fine. I learned a lot from them. I don't think I don't think I could have asked for a better first internship either. So I think that was very good overall. Do I want to like do this iterator thing? Where are you going this summer? A local trading firm. They've basically given me like 3 months to like mess around with GCC. So we'll see how it goes. I'm a little bit scared because I don't really think I'm gonna get a lot of like support. It'll kind of be like pretty self-directed. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah. Okay, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this iterator thing. What are the drawbacks of this? Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it'll be interesting. It definitely will be interesting, but it's a little bit nerve-wracking at least. Let's see. Oh wait, we can just do for each like this? Wait, we can overload that? Wow, wait, that's a thing? That's so cool. How does it work? So the thing is, like, I don't know either, which is also like why I'm really nervous about it. Yeah, it's like supposed to be very self-directed, apparently. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, we are not doing this. This would be insane. This would be insane. This, I think, will be the one instance where we have to, like, keep it around like this. Yeah. But, like, stuff like this we can definitely just expose the pointer to. Yeah. So we can do like that. What was this again? We can do that. Yeah, this will just generally like de-slopify things. Yeah, we can just do that again. Let's actually copy this line down to here. And then this needs to be an expr. Yeah, I also want to like rewrite some of these. I think the way I've done this is a little bit egregious. If we look at like the C operator precedence, we can definitely like consolidate this a little bit. We can like make a different operator for this sort of thing. Let's see. So declaration is probably fine. Actually, yeah. How do we want to categorize this? We could definitely group. We could probably replace like assign, or we could even just like make declaration one thing with like a null field for value potentially. What are we trying to do? Right now I'm kind of just rewriting my front end because, well, it sucks right now. specifically, there's just like this one translation layer that just doesn't really make sense. Let me actually just like draw this out. Give it a second. Okay, so in compiler design, I haven't like given this explanation in a bit, but usually it's split into like 3 phases. So there's like front end. That's not an N. So everything generally like, you're probably familiar with like front end and back end. So front end usually refers to like inputs, back end refers to like outputs. We also have a middle end here, and that will make sense in a second. So the front end, I guess each of these boxes will represent like a language in air quotes. So here we have like the source C code. We do some stuff to it. We turn it into an AST. We do some more stuff. And then right now I have this thing called HIR, which is kind of like a simplified version of the AST. That's short for abstract syntax tree. So yeah, we have this language called HIR. It's like high and then like intermediate representation. Yeah, so we can do that. And then we have this giant box here, MIR, which is like middle IR, creatively named. Yeah, so then like we draw an arrow there. And then the back end, there is one box which is called LIR. So we draw an arrow here. We do a bunch of stuff to it, and then it comes out as like assembly. And then like in the middle end, we have MIR. We do a bunch of optimizations on it. So there's another arrow to itself. So yeah, what I'm trying to do right now, I'm trying to cut out this HIR box because it honestly does nothing. I want to just have an arrow straight like that, pretty much. Interpreter, no, there's no interpreter in a, well, non-JIT standard compiler, I guess. Because an interpreter would be, well, an interpreter. What's the difference between building a compiler and interpreter? I guess the easiest way to differentiate them is a compiler is like source to source, right? So you go from one language to another language, whereas an interpreter would skip this and just like execute. I don't know how to... Yeah, we'll just draw a box like that. Yeah, so instead of having like an explicit backend, it would just like, it would interpret the IR and then run it directly. Yeah, that is like the big difference. Even evaluator is probably like imprecise. Is the JVM like an MIR? I guess MIR is more equivalent to like the Java intermediate format. I forgot what it's called. But like the VM in JVM is like virtual machine, right? So that JVM kind of encapsulates like this box. What is like the Java intermediate code called? But Java bytecode, yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, the JVM is an interpreter. Java bytecode is the IR for it. So yeah, that's like the big slot pile. Bottom line, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to cut this tiny box out. But that means I have to replumb this and I have to replumb this. And that requires like changing a lot of stuff, so I was like, while I'm doing the changing, I may as well like polish all of this up because I want to polish everything up eventually. So, yeah. Yeah, I would like to clean this up somehow. Let's look at the operator precedence again. I'm passionate about medicine and tech for different reasons. I mean, medicine will always be the more stable option, I feel like. Like, there will always be people that need a doctor, right? But, like, there's more of a chance of like tech being replaced properly. I also think like it's just a lot harder to find a tech job than it is to like find a medical job, just because like the path is so much less well defined for tech. Let's go next. It's been a second. Yeah, okay. How do I want to redesign this at least? C variable declaration. Is there like okay, let's see. We could probably merge this in with declaration. I think I want to structure it like that moving forwards. So, oh man. This is gonna be fun. So let's move value up here, and then it can be null. We will find out the hard way if it is null. This is probably a bad design choice, but that's fine. So this is expr star get value. Yeah, so this is all fine. We have this constructor, and then I would also like to yoink this constructor as well. Yeah, so this will also help us deduplicate our code a little bit as well. Yeah, so this hopefully makes some degree of sense. At least it will to myself. And then we can duke this at least. Yeah, if we're gonna have to replumb a lot of stuff, and we're gonna have to rewrite stuff, we may as well do it like this. Oh man. I'm so scared. Also, just out of curiosity, so if we're having an expression as the right-hand side, does this mean we can do like, yeah, we can ignore this slot pile. So can we do like int I equals, so let's do int I equals 1. Can we do like int j equals I equals 1? Or I equals 2? Or something like that? Is this assignable? This is assignable. That is insane. Return j. The fact that this works is insane to me. Wait, why does this work? Okay, let's O1 this. I forgot that this is like semantically something you can do. That is insane. Wow. Alright, so can we do that? Is this like valid? This is like valid, that's insane. The fact that this is a valid line of code is stupid to me. Okay, we'll need to look up how the equality operator handles properly at some point, but that means there is no qualms with doing things like this, so this should be fine. I imagine compiler engineers may also be useful for SAST companies. Oh yeah, 100%. That makes a lot of sense. There is a lot of like security work that also happens at like in the compiler as well, which I think is really interesting. I've never gotten a chance to explore it, but it does look really freaking cool. So yeah. Okay, so we have declaration, and that also like deduplicates some of our stuff. And then we can like cut out a lot of this stuff actually. We can replace like assign with just like instruction expr. And then we can do something with that in a second. Or we actually already have that now that I think about it, right? Yeah, we literally have that, so we don't need to declare that up here. Yeah, this lives above all of this, actually. Yeah, so we can kind of just reuse that instead of like this opassign stuff, but we're gonna need to do a lot of like cleanup work on that. So I'm just gonna make a note to myself here. So we want to handle equality or equals operator handle, or yeah, implement plus handle that op equals. We'll do that. Yeah, so that'll let us nuke instruction assign because that'll be an operator, and also op assign as well. Is there anything there that I'm missing? I think op assign makes sense to delete. Return, I think we kind of need to leave in. And then we have like control flow, which is fine. Yeah, so let's change this up. Expr star. How fast do you type per minute? Actually, let's check. Aye. Aye. Yeah, that fast. But that's like super locked in, so probably like cut it down to like 90 if we're like thinking. The big speed thing I get out of this is the editor I use. It's called NeoVim. It's based off of an editor called Vim, which is based off an editor called VI. And the thing that is interesting about it is it has it's completely like keyboard based. So I haven't been using the mouse at all. So I like move around the screen with like the keyboard. Specifically, instead of using like arrow keys to move around, I use H to go left, L to go right, and then J to go down and K to go up. And then like there's a lot of other like I guess hotkeys. So there's like there's like this normal mode, which is just like navigation and like other utility hotkeys. And then if I hit I, I'm in insert mode where I can just type normally. So like if I do like W, it moves forward a word, for instance. If I do like capital W, it skips to like the next space, for instance. Overall, it's just a lot of like utility stuff. And that helps me, I guess, meaningfully type faster. Or I guess skip keystrokes. Yeah, like it is completely optional. It's not like you don't need to like use NeoVim or like use Vim motions. As long as you're like comfortable with your editor, that's probably the big thing. Like I know a lot of people that are honestly faster than me with just using VS Code even because they're like really familiar with the editor. Specifically, VS Code has this like nice feature where you can have multiple cursors at once. So if you spam like Control D while hovering something, you'll have like a cursor on every instance of like the word expr, for instance, and then you can change them all at once, and it's so cool. I wish NeoVim had that, to be honest, but we have find and replace, so I can't really complain. That's assignment op, not equality. What do you mean specifically here? Okay. Does that not exist on NeoVim? No, we don't have multiple cursors. I think there's a plugin for that. Yeah, like people are like working on it. Nobody uses this. Like use Vim Visual Multi. Okay. So like we go here. Last updated 2 years ago. Like nobody uses it. So yeah. Have you tried Emacs? I have not. NeoVim is just my flavor of poison, and it works well enough for my needs, and it's like cool. So I may as well stick with it. I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different people that use Emacs though. So yeah. Okay. Let's continue. Expr, declaration, return. Here we changed that type, so that's fine. Oh man. So we need to make that an instruction star. I think there was a reason for me to make it a not an instruction star. I don't think I'm moving it around though, so surely this is fine. Oh yeah, I just realized I never answered the question. Why'd you choose compilers? I think compilers are cool. I think they combine like, so obviously they combine like programming languages stuff with like system stuff, both of which I find really cool. But it also adds like software engineering elements, which I think is interesting. And there's a lot of like theory as well with like the algorithms. So I think those four areas kind of like combine into this like one little like melting pot of a subfield, and I think it's just so cool. Impact wise, there's not really like, if you're talking about this project, I'm kind of just using this to learn. It's kind of just like a personal fun project. I don't particularly care about like other people using this. How often do you use automata concepts? I can't lie, I never formally learned that. So I in fact do not care particularly about automata, which is really funny to think about, but you know, that's kind of where we've landed. Oh man. Okay, what do we do here? Would you say it's not required to start studying compilers? I think you could get away with skipping it. Like if you're doing like web dev, I think you just straight up don't need to know a lot of this stuff. That's not to say you shouldn't though. I still think it's really cool and very valuable. But well, obviously I'm a little bit biased in that, so maybe take my word with a grain of salt there. Okay, so this simplifies our IR a lot actually, which is very nice. We can do a lot more of this now. How old were you when you first got into coding? It's a it's hard to answer. I technically wrote my first lines of code in like 4th grade, but it was like for a summer camp, and then like I didn't touch programming at all until like high school, and I took the 2 AP classes, and then I still didn't touch programming at all outside of that. And then I got to college, and then I started like actually writing code. So, yeah. You mean assignment? I see. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know what we would call the like operator assignment. We'll just do that. We'll call it op assign, because I used to call it that. What parsing algo do you use? I use whatever Pectool uses. Where is Pectool? Yeah, this library. I think it's a bottom-up parser. Let's see. Does it say what it uses? Okay, I can't lie. I don't exactly remember what it uses. I never formally studied like parsing, because our compilers class does not spend half a class on it, or does not spend half a quarter on it. So, yeah, very unfortunate for me. How are compiler courses in universities? I think you could probably get a similar experience self-studying it for the most part. Yeah, I think like it really does just depend on the school though. Like I know of a lot of people whose school's compiler classes are like 5 or 6 weeks on like parsing, and then like 3 actual interesting weeks, and then like a week where they tell you like Bison exists, and then like the first 6 weeks don't matter anymore. But like the one we have, we spend like half a class on parsing, for instance, and everything else is on like 50% on the back end, 50% on the front end. So I think I think it is better structured in that sense because truly very few people care about parsing. Yeah, I did not formally learn like very deep parsing theory. How would you go about self-studying compilers from scratch? My recommendations list. There's 2 books there. One of them is compilers, the other is not compilers, but close to compilers. I think the first one, crafting interpreters, it introduces PL generally very well, and then I think writing a C compiler would introduce like compilers proper very well. Okay, we got a lot of stuff to rewrite here, but I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, so it'll be a second. Don't burn down the house while I'm away. Okay, I'm back. Apologies. Okay. Starting at the age of 19. I think that's fine, honestly. Like this is like the one. I think this is one of the like industries in which like you really can just get away with it. Like it's less about like starting points and more about just like, I guess where you are in your like pacing, right? So, yeah, I think you definitely can get away with it. You just really gotta like, I guess, have the drive for it. Because like, if you're like one of the people that are like, I do computer science because I quote unquote like building apps, but in reality I don't actually enjoy anything I do, and I just am here for a 6-figure paycheck. Yeah, I don't. It's that's that type of person in computer science is very quickly dying out, for better or for worse. The job market is just getting increasingly aggressive against that general category. So, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my take, at least. I think what everyone else said also is pretty accurate. So, yeah. Just lock in is probably a good way to put it. Okay. Everything else here makes sufficient sense to me. Yeah, so we reordered that. This is all good. Oh boy. Now we get to figure out what to change here. Let's start by deleting the stuff that we deleted. We can retool this as well, like that. So that works out. Let's move this up. So this goes also here. And then we want value, null putter, I guess, explicitly. I think being explicit about null pointer there is specifically good. Have you done a lot of side projects in total? I don't think so, actually. Like I worked on a big, like a big bot for like our esports server. Or like a Discord bot. There were like a couple crappy websites in there. A couple of other like crappy projects, but this is like the first like truly large project I worked on that was like meaningful in any way. So, yeah. Okay, let's get rid of declaration assign. And also instruction assign. And instruction op assign. We don't need any of that. We don't need that no more. Yeah. Like that. Perfect. So then we have return. We need to like clean that up, and then everything else is fine. Okay. Nice. We can also using this instead. Save a little bit of horizontal space. Okay. Add a cling format rule that disables the annoying no copyright error. What do you mean? Wait, that's a thing? There we go. Do you plan on working on other big side projects? Not really for the most part. There's like some silly stuff on the side. But none of that's like particularly like something I want to like stream. The big thing is I want to do more like formal LLVM contributions. So I think that might be a little bit more interesting than this. I definitely can do that right now, but like, I think this is more fun to me. So we're doing this, even if it's like suboptimal. What's wrong here? Oh yeah, we need to do it like that. Okay. All right, unless I do this, is this a thing that we can do? Is this like gross at all? Okay, this is fine actually. Yeah, I guess it is true that like having fun ain't that bad. Oh yeah, that seems really annoying. Wow. Okay, yeah, you gotta turn that off. Free will exists. That's so real, yeah. I don't know. I think like it's probably good to like have a baseline understanding of like or even just like the basic intro sequence experience. I think that's probably good as like a prerequisite. So like being comfortable with like some programming language, having some understanding of like systems. Actually, let me pull up like a resource for this, because one of the classes I'm taking right now is about like pedagogical design in CS. And one of the papers that we had to read was like an old report on like what intro classes should exist. Let's see if I can find it. Aha, the 1978 ACM curriculum report. Yeah, so there's some like interesting stuff in here. Let's see. Core curriculum. So there's like computer programming 1, 2, like intro to like systems, intro to organization, whatever that means. This is obviously like a little bit dated, but I still think this is like a pretty reasonable list of like things that you probably want to know. Yeah, let's take a look at what this covers. It's like problem solving methods, algorithm, da 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 da. The big thing here is like learning a high level programming language. Is architect. I see. That makes sense. Yeah. So like the big thing here is like knowing a programming language and like having some experience like just working with it. This is like very like definitely like more in the elementary level of breakdown, but like doing more interesting things with your programming language. Let's see, systems. So like I think this is like more of like a concrete like compiler's prereq. But yeah, just look up like 1978 ACM curriculum report. I think you should be able to find this roughly. Yeah, you probably don't need to know like, I guess this kind of organization kind of meshes in with like systems. But yeah, that's my big compilers pile, or compilers prereq pile. You can look into that more if you wish. Okay, value ducket. Yeah, we're writing some really interesting code here right now. Actually, let's make a macro for this. Let's make word 0. We can paste, add a star there. Yeah, so we can do that, and then that's good for the macro. So here we can at W, here we can at W, here we can also at W, here we can at W. Okay. Why doesn't this work? Wait, did I forget to change that? Wait, what? Oh. Whoops. Okay. There we go. Much better. So yeah. That all works now. This all looks fine at a glance. Oh man. What's the difference between undergrad and master's classes? It's about the same actually. I think just like the big thing is like there's more of an emphasis on research in at like the master's level. So like I'm working on a master's thesis right now. It's very scary because I don't know what to do. Like I know what to do, but like there's so much that's open-ended, which you don't really get in any like formal class per se. So that's kind of like the biggest thing for me, at least. I can find your Lexer. It's mixed in with the parser generator. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, so like my master's is like very compilers focused, which probably makes a lot of sense given everything else that you've seen on this channel thus far. I don't want to like say too much about what my research is right now, but I might give like a little presentation at some point. Maybe like day 250 or something. We'll have to see, but yeah. Let's see. This is all fine. I think we can call this file good. The header is also good. Oh man, expert is gonna be fun. We're gonna need more operators. It just occurred to me. I guess we could kind of consider like the assignment operator as a binary op, right? Is that like an insane sentence? I think that's fine, right? Surely that's like not the worst sin I can make. When you say the classes are the same, I mean like, it's like quote unquote undergrad classes at our school. So like the way classes are arranged at the school I go to is they're generally grouped by like 100, 200, 300, 400, and then like 500 level. So like 100 level is like strictly intro. 200 is like early in the sequence, not really like advanced, but like still like fundamentals focused. So like data structures lives in like the 200 level, intro to systems is like 200 level, or like intro to computer science is 100 level, obviously. 300 level is like advanced undergrad or like less advanced grad, if that makes sense. So like that's where like intro to AI lives, or like machine learning, or like compilers, for instance. And then 400 is like advanced, like very advanced undergrad slash like generally speaking quote unquote grad level. So like our deep learning class is there, which is like machine learning part 2. What else is in there? There's got to be another good example that I can think of. There's like obviously grad algorithms, which is kind of in the name, but like it is more advanced. Yeah, I'm really struggling to think of interesting 400 level classes. And then 500 is like research slash like project related stuff. Let me pull up the course catalog actually. Oh, what the hell? Y'all already know where I go to school. I don't think this is like the worst thing to leak. Let's turn Dark Reader on. They're like making a mess out of the intro sequence right now, but traditionally it's been like 110, 111, 150. And then they've like thrown a bunch of other slop in recently. I think the AI courses that focus on like machine learning proper and not like generative AI are generally pretty interesting. Yeah, here's like our discrete math class. This one's like how to use databases, which is interesting, which is funny because it's distinct from the actual databases class. So like here. Yeah, this is kind of like an idea. Like OS lives here as well in 300. So that's kind of like the big 300 level pile. There's some like applied stuff here, like game dev, like digital instrument design, which is really cool. CUDA's here. There's a 400 level version of that. Okay, 396 is like unclassified slash like on the way. Conversational AI, the class is like alright, if I remember correctly. Pragmatics, this class was really fun. Yeah, okay. So the 400 level classes, like there's deep learning, there's like kernel dev here, which I'm taking. There's like advanced versions of like the 300 level classes, which is like duh. Yeah, we don't really have a lot of 400 level classes actually, which like really sucks. I wish there were more. Like generative deep models. That is word salad to me, but I'm sure it's interesting. Parallel architectures seems interesting, so on and so forth. You kind of get the idea. Assignment is binary? Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, this is not gonna be fun to encode. I'm very scared. Yeah, I took CUDA like last quarter. It was fine. It was not completely interesting. I kind of gave up caring about it halfway through because like lectures were low-key not very interesting, but like the content itself was like pretty cool. What was your hardest CS course? Definitely compilers. The way our school structures it, it's like 20 hours of work a week. So, it's a lot of time investment. Let's see. What else can we do with this? What do we even call like op equals? Or plus equals operator. Whatever it is called plus assignment. Okay. So we can do add assign. Actually, is there a better way to encode this? We can kind of just yoink all of this, right? Actually, let's compound assignment. Interesting. Okay, that's good to know. We'll just do that, and then we can do that. There's probably a better way to encode this. There's definitely a better way to encode this. This feels very duplicative. I don't really like this. Surely this isn't like that offensive though, right? Like, yeah, surely this is fine. How are the masters and PhD professors like? Some of them have been in industry and are just like teaching now / doing research now. Some of them are like strictly academia. It varies from faculty to faculty. Okay, I don't like the way I've encoded this. It's like, I don't know, it is probably fine. I guess there is like only so many of these, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10. There's 10 of them. We currently do 9. Which one are we missing? We're missing modulo for now, because we don't do modulo, because modulo is scary. Yeah, we'll just encode it like that for now and call it a day. But that means we also need to extend this pile. So let's have the header up on the side. Actually, let's do that. Do that. If I can type. E for end. And then we can do that. Okay. We need to extend this out now. Oh no. I'm so scared. Let's do it the same way. So let's yank that, make it sign, make equals. Let's yank that, make a macro again. The struggle to type. We can do that. What did I do?
Oh, I didn't finish recording. Okay, we're gonna need to do that again. And so we can do that, 0, Q. So now we just do this like 5 times. Okay. And we need to, oh no. Oh no, okay, we have to handle this differently, but that's fine. Yeah, what do we want to do with the rest of this actually? Yeah, how do we want to do this? Yeah, this doesn't really map as cleanly. This is where I was like concerned, at least. Because we don't really have like, yeah, this just doesn't map as well. We can probably just like handle that in a different place. And then we should just unreachable assignment, I think. We just should not assign, we should not unreachable it actually, but let's live life dangerously. I like the idea of living life dangerously. Well, what could possibly go wrong? Yeah, we're just gonna have some time travel if something goes wrong, and it will bother pretty much exclusively me. It will be very good entertainment for everyone else. Yeah, so let's paste that, and yeah, and we can encode it like this, I think. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. So that encapsulates everything, I think. Yeah, okay. Are master's programs more expensive? I think usually they are. But the combined program that I'm in right now has undergrad tuition rate, so yeah. BFS, yeah. That kind of lives mostly on like the middle end with like the analyses proper. Oh man, this file is looking very ugly, but that's fine. Aye. What is wrong with my cursor? Okay, well I guess we are blue now. Let's add utils. Not equality, assignment. There we go. To operators. Why rushing? Yeah, I mean, I like technically probably could have gotten it done before this summer, but like I wanted the extra time because extra internship, extra time for like my thesis. I think it's probably overall a good idea. Yeah. There we go. So now we can go back to this hellhole. Oh man. Yeah, we need to change a lot of stuff here, but that's fine. Instruction was the first place we looked. I think this is all cleaned up, and this is all cleaned up. Let's get these cleaned up, and then we will probably call it for this stream. Because it has been like 2 hours, and I have other plans for tonight. So, yeah. Let me message someone real quick. Okay. Notion? Yeah. I mean, I would use Obsidian if it had like mobile support, which obviously doesn't make sense for Obsidian, but like I want to like some things I want to have on my phone. Lane, you don't gotta call me out like that. you deadass don't gotta call me out like that. Okay, let's look at Expert. This is gonna be hell. Okay. I never understood master's students doing internships. I mean, like, it is about, like, the same idea. Like, you can kind of distinguish, like, academic level slash, like, in terms of, like, grad versus undergrad. It's, like, completely distinct from, like software engineering slash, like, industry level, right? So, usually when, like, master's starts full-time, they usually start, like, a pay grade up. So, like, L3 instead of L2, or, like, L4 instead of L3, I think, in, like, Google terms. And then, like, PhD starts another pay grade up, generally. So, like, L5, probably. I could be wrong about that. I haven't looked in a second. So, that's definitely something to think about, though. Yeah. Is converting JSON to SQL considered under compilers? I think in a sense, yeah. Like, if you write a program that translates a JSON something to SQL, I think you could probably consider that a compiler in a, like, very abstract sense, right? Like, you know, like, there's, like, a very specific meme I'm thinking about. Sandwich grid meme. Yeah, like this meme. Right. So, like, you can have like language, like you can have, like, language alignment on, like, one axis, and you can have like program structure alignment, right? Like, if you are actually, let's just make this meme. Let's make this meme a thing. This is a good use of stream time. Yeah, so let's make a new page. Compiler. Alignment. What is it called? Chart. So on one axis, we have, like, let's see, how do we want to do this? We can do language purist. We can do, like, language, like, neutral, and then rebel. Yeah. This is gonna be, like, top 10 dumbest things I've worked on. Okay, and then on the other axis, let's actually rotate this so I can, like, write properly. Which way are we rotating? Oh my. Okay, never mind. Let's not do that. Let's just write sideways. Let's make a new layer and write on it. So we have language, and then we have, like, what? Program, I think? We could do it like that. So this is a new layer. So program purist, program neutral, program rebel. Okay, so now we can rotate this. Huzzah! Okay, we definitely want to compress this a little bit. So let's like shift that down a little bit. Let's, like, shift this up a little bit, like that. Okay. Now we can have fun. Let's draw a giant grid. Yeah, I'm sure this is the studying content everyone is here for. Okay, so, like, let's see, what do we put in each grid? So language purist, program purist. Let's categorize these a little bit more. So this should be source to, I guess, like, HL lang to, yeah, to, like, low level lang. And this should be, neutral should be PL to PL. And then language rebel should be language, or I guess language to language. Yeah. So, so yeah, I think like JSON to SQL probably like it probably fits somewhere in like this box probably, or like between these two boxes if I had to say. Yeah. These should be different colored, by the way. Whoops. So this should be like PL. Aye. So PL to PL, and then we have like we could just do like something to something, right? Or just like language to language. Yeah, I like language to language. I think that's broad enough. And then this box is this category is going to be interesting. Yeah, the thing is, right, like you can kind of like JSON's awkward because like depending on like how you're doing it, you might be like defining a language structure on your own. So like, does that really count? Like it's a little bit dubious. Like if you've encoded information in a specific way, that is like a different type of language than like quote unquote just JSON broadly. Okay. So program purist. So we have, I guess maybe program isn't the word, maybe like structure. So like, so this has to be like a formal compiler, and then like an LLM is probably somewhere here, and then we have like thing. Right, so we have like, so what is the purest category here? It's like, literal compiler. Probably. That's probably the category there. Neutral, we can probably, I don't know what to put for neutral, but something that translates. Let's make this larger. This is like the worst idea I've come up with in a while. Holy hell. Okay, let's at least move some of these around now. You can tell my writing's a little bit crooked, but that's fine. Let's take all of this. Let's like shift it over a little bit. Okay. Something that translates. Literal compiler. And what's in between here? What would go in between? What would be like neutral here? Yeah, I don't know. What do we think here for neutral? Any ideas? On one end, we have like a compiler program. On the other, we have like something that does translation. Maybe we could do an agent that does translation in the middle. I think that might be good. So like either an LLM or like a person, maybe. Yeah, let's actually like rewrite this. I'm gonna yoink this and then rotate it back so I can like use it for like spacing. So we can do like agent that, or agent is the other color. Anything can translate. This is a great use of time. I'm so happy I'm doing this right now. Here, agent. That translates. And then green is program that translates. Or maybe we could specify executable even. We should probably say like executable, yeah. You can probably hear me aggressively clicking as well because I'm writing this by hand, like with a mouse by hand. So, yeah, this is life. Okay, let's erase that. Do. Yeah, so let's rotate that. Perfect. Okay, now we get to put things in the boxes. So, let's see. Let's get the easy ones out of the way. So, this is obviously like claying. Actually, GCC. I think that's probably canonical. PL to PL. I think these middle ones are going to be a little bit awkward. So this is like, let's see. Anything can translate. Anything that can translate. So this is like, I don't know. I'm like really struggling with this. This was a better meme in my head than it ended up turning out. Maybe I should just leave this on my Discord and then y'all can like fight over this. I don't know. Let's see, language to language. So this, oh wait, okay, this is perfect. This is just a dictionary. Language to language, but it's an executable. This should be, oh man. This is an agent that translates. This should be a translator. Or yeah, translator. And then a program, this should be like, what's the like Google dictionary? What's it called? Do we just call it Google Translate? Yeah. Yeah, this is Google Translate. Yeah, I'm the only NeoVim user that handwrites stuff with a mouse. Okay, this is actually getting really funny now that I think about it. So an agent that translates, I think from like PL to PL, we could say this is like ChatGPT. And then this, I think we could say like CS first year, or student taking a C exam, or taking systems exam maybe. Okay, what else can we fill in here? This is getting really fun. I'm very happy with this so far. Language neutral. What is a good example of this? Transpiler example. Oh, Babel is a good example actually, yeah. TypeScript compiler. Yeah, TypeScript compiler is 100% PL to PL. We'll be more explicit with this. Okay, and now we get to have more fun here. Let's see. So language translation. Yeah, this is really hard to do. What is like the equivalent of a dictionary for these boxes? Oh no, please don't crash. Okay. I hit save. This is really awkward. Anyone have any ideas on what would go in these two boxes? So anything like anything can translate outside of like a person. Like it can be an inanimate object that translates these. Oh, this should be the C standard, right? Right? One of these should be like, what is like, yes, what is like the JavaScript standard called? Ah. PHP. Ah. Okay. Yeah, okay. Or like maybe like the Python equivalent. But I don't know if that translates like programming language to programming language per se. Like some sort of a document, I think, is like the best way to finish this alignment chart. This, I think, C standard maybe? C standard. Does this like specify how it gets translated? Or let's like skip ahead to the middle somewhere. Zoop. Oh man. Yeah, this is difficult. I think we could put like C standard here, and then I don't know what goes in this box then. Or I guess like, I don't know. What is the Claude? Is there a programming language standard that translates? It directly translates from a programming language to another. Oh wait, WebAssembly could be. Is there a document? Python? That could be a good one, yeah. I guess ECMAS. Is there anything interesting here? Do you know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript? Very roughly. Yeah, I don't know what to put in these last boxes. Ah, that's really frustrating. I want to finish this. I want to finish this so much. Yeah, that seems like a fun pile to learn. Yeah, this is tough. This is really tough. I guess this could be a compilers class, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. This is rough. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what goes here. Stack Overflow maybe goes into one of these? I don't know. These are all like agents. So we could even have like a web page here. Is there like an idea? Code converter. There has to be like something. I really don't want to just put like Stack Overflow for both of these. It surely like exists somewhere though. Test cases maybe? I don't know. This is getting really difficult. I'm looking for things that fit these boxes. So like something like a dictionary, but like in a compiler translation sense. So like a literal like just anything that isn't like a person or a program that does like programming language translation. I can't believe I'm spending so much time on this. This is so funny. C++ NOC? Yeah. Actually, yeah. Yeah, this is really difficult. There's not a good idea here. We could probably do like an intro course like textbook or something. I think that could be interesting. Yeah, let's do pseudocode in a textbook for this, I think. Cause like that's like what, translating like some formal language into like yeah, let's do like intro to CS textbook. But then it's like a cop-out to do like advanced CS course textbook. You could probably do compilers textbook actually here. Right. Because usually it's not like just generic language to generic language, right? Okay, we can I think this will do. Reverse engineering tool, that's like an executable though, right? So like this really does bracket out a lot of things. Yeah, I think this is the best we will do, unfortunately. What do we think? I think this is the best we will do. So I'm gonna go to my Discord and I'm gonna paste that in. My Discord's linked in the description. You should join if you haven't. It's like surprisingly active and everyone there is like really chill. So yeah, I would suggest joining it if you have not. Yeah, okay, that's enough of that's enough of whatever the hell this was. Let me send this to a couple of friends as well. I think they would enjoy this. Where else can I put this? Yeah, okay. I think, yeah, that's good content. Okay. Anyways. That slop aside. I think this works. We'll see if the bot responds, but yeah, let's get back to work. Oh man. Okay, we need to extend this. So let's make a macro for this. So, or yeah, let's big word. Let's delete word. We can paste. Putter. Okay. Here we can do that. This, I fear, is doomed, but that's fine. This should just be an iterator, honestly. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. We need to do this for left, and we need to do this for right. Okay, and everything else should be fine, I'm fairly sure. Did I invert the header order here? I did not. We need to invert that real quick. What's wrong with AST? Oh, we need to fix that. This header order needs to be inverted. Yeah, that's fine. Instruction, did I invert it yet? Yes, I did. Okay, we need to implement this now. Okay. So we can we just do that here as well? Nice. That's so nice. Yeah, I still don't know why my cursor is green now, but it's fine. It fits the theme, so we'll do that. Okay. So I think that's all we need here, and then we can finally tackle this behemoth. So we can get rid of those visitors. What else? Get type, get name. That is a vector. We can do that. Yeah, those are unique pointers. This is fine. This is perfectly fine. Oh man, that's awful. Yeah, okay. What else? What else? Oh yeah, we were also gonna fix like the symbol table stuff. So that's a unique pointer. That's a vector. That's fine. Yeah, I can do that. Okay. I think the rest of this is fine at a glance. I don't think we use symbol table in any of this, right? Right. Okay, cool. Oh, this needed to be fine. There we go. So that's all fine now. Also, I forgot to do the namespace thing. And then we also need to do that. Like that. There we go. Too many errors. Okay, we'll fix that. We'll fix that in a moment. Let's do that ordering, that's fine. Yeah, I think the rest of this looks about right for now. What else do we need though? Let's just implement this and then we'll call it a day. This has been a pretty long stream and I'm getting a little fatigued, so it might be smart to speed this along. Aye. Wait, what? Into Atom a Dynafire Star. Do that. This might be the one instance where, actually no, we don't need that for this. Scope, I guess if we get the instructions from inside, that's probably fine if we need to like reorder things. If there comes an instance where we need to reorder, we'll figure it out. What's good, Victor? Good to see you. It is really cool seeing that there are people from everywhere. What type was that? Identifier. Okay, what else is broken? Oh. That's ST now. That's ST now. This is a unique putter. Yeah, and there's also people like across the US as well. Like, I don't know. It's really easy to forget how large the US is. So, yeah, at least in my opinion, that is very cool. Because like, I don't know, compilers is like CS is like a community at the end of the day, right? So it's pretty cool. Do that. Oh man. There's a mess. There's a lot of stuff we gotta worry about here. Yeah, we gotta pass around ST a lot now. Oh, this doesn't exist anymore. This doesn't exist anymore. This doesn't exist anymore. Canada? Hell yeah. Oh man. This doesn't need a git anymore. So that is another side effect. This stuff is like de-verbosified a little bit. It just occurred to me we need to update, this is fine. Declaration we need to update, with this thing. Yes, we want res equals variable. And then we can yank some of this as well. So we want, now check that. So if I get, yeah, we want this to exist here as well. Oh man, we should just copy the body for this first instead. Let's start with that. Let's just yank that. is the best way to do this? Actually, we could do this. Or actually, let's just do... Oh man. There is somewhere where we did something like this. While res. Okay, so we want... Assign res, maybe is what we want to call it? Or declare res? Or declaration res? Yeah, let's pull this out first. What the hell am I doing here? What? What am I doing? Wait, what? What am I doing here? We should have the space regardless, right? Unless... Huh, okay, wait. So there's our putter test. How do we format it? This is very important. Okay, we definitely don't need this thing, I think, right? Right? Do we need this? I don't think we do. I argue we don't need this. Yeah, I'm just wrong about that. Yeah, so we can do that. Variable. Right. Oh, yeah, okay. This is correct actually. We need a space if it's not. Yeah, okay. We can do that. Okay, so we can do declare res. Cool hair though, gives me 2,000 lives. Thank you. Yeah, it's supposed to be more purple, but that will show through in like when I get it redone, it'll be like way more purple in like 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm more into like the K-pop-y side of things, if that's any reference. Res equals declare res plus semicolon. I'm a big LeSeraphim fan. Yeah, so we can do that. Or let's just do that, like that. Yeah, let's just simplify this a little bit. There we go. Aye. Okay, so that should be good now. Yeah, okay. So that cleans that up. Now we can delete these three. I'm fairly sure. Expr is like pretty straightforward. Return doesn't change. If shouldn't change. We just need to do a little bit of cleanup. What's wrong here? Arrow. This does. Nah, we don't even need that. Wow, this simplifies much. Holy hell, what am I doing here? Holy sh... Okay. what am I doing with this, like, convert sub-expression thing? I think there is a reason for this, but... I'll need to, like, revisit this next time. Let's look at... Let's put that in the to-do. Yeah, I just want this to, like, be fine for now. And by be fine, I mean not have errors. Not have errors rampant. What's the reasoning with C++? Yeah, it is definitely more prevalent, mostly because of LLVM, so that's not very helpful. Yeah, LLVM is like a big, I guess, compiler toolkit, I guess. That's kind of the best way to describe it. Clang is built off of it. The Rust compiler is built off of it. If you've heard of MLIR, that is part of Clang. There's a lot of tooling that's built on this, and this is largely in C++. So in that sense, C++ is pretty important. But you can definitely, like, that's not to say that, like, you can't use C. It's just like the big toolchain that at least I care about is in C++. So I need the C++ practice. You see those ads where they say you can make money with AI tools. I mean, AI is the popular thing right now, so I think you could stick ads on it. You could definitely, like, try to make something work. Like, if you make, like, a ChatGPT wrapper, like, who cares, right? Like, I think you could probably get away with it, but I don't really have a strong opinion on it, for better or for worse. Okay, this seems to be all fixed up. I think this is all good for now. I'm not even going to try to build this, because I know it's going to get nuked. Where to start with compilers? My recommendations. Give the bot a second. There we go. Here we go. Let's do clean up AST. Mostly. Okay. I think that's probably a good place to call today's stream, though. I should do stuff with my life and be a human being again. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for showing up today. When's your bedtime? Probably gonna be like 4 a.m. again, but I'm like slowly pushing it to a more reasonable hour. If you haven't already, like the stream, sub to the channel. It really helps out a lot with the algorithm. While you're down there, check out the description and join the Discord. It's the best place to get pinged when I go live. Stay up to date with like the community, and you also get access to this neat little channel with all of my like silly scribblings and this wonderful textbook image. This is where our little alignment chart lives now. Yeah, aside from that, LinkedIn's down there, GitHub's down there, GitHub sponsors is down there if you wish to support me financially. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat more food now and enjoy my evening like a fat chud. Take care, y'all. Take it easy, and I will see you all tomorrow.